this is Tata, and welcome to our Same Time Post Show. It is Monday, March 18, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. Let's kick things off talking about this Cody Rhodes promo. So, for weeks now, The Rock has been saying some rude stuff about Cody Rhodes. I mean, he called his fans Cody crybabies. He's mentioned Cody's mom, Pharaoh, Cody's dog. I'm surprised he has yet to mention Brandy and his daughter. But damn, The Rock has just said some god awful things about Cody Rhodes until finally, Cody Rhodes fired back tonight. He brought up the fact that how The Rock recently referred to himself as everyone's favorite heel, and he kind of names Bobby Heenan, Ric Flair, and Superstar Billy Graham as actual heels. And he thinks The Rock is not a heel, but an asshole. And he brings up the fact how Rock was been crying behind the scenes. He went to go cry to his buddies on the TKO board, and that it would be great PR for The Rock until it wasn't. So, let me see. Daniel says, I can't honestly say tonight's Monday night was just all right. It's okay, yeah. I'll get more into that as I go on with tonight's show. But I really like the fact that Cody brought that up, that The Rock had been crying. And I really like this part when he says that the board are enablers and he has people that don't tell him like it is. Because you can kind of argue that that's true. You know, the board of directors probably we're going to give The Rock his match with Roman until the fans rioted and stuff. So I really like that. And then, The Rock brought up Cody's mom. So, as Cody says, it was fair. Hey, Front Row Joe. Welcome. Okay. So, Cody also brings up The Rock's mom and calls her a wonderful lady, a salt of the earth, and has nothing but respect for her. He brings up how The Rock doesn't know Cody's mom and stuff. So I thought this was so far a really good promo by Cody Rhodes. It's about time he fired back at The Rock for all the things that he said. And Cody does bring up a really good point when he says that he asked The Rock how he can be so sure of himself when he hasn't been in the ring for years. That is very true. How do we know The Rock is not going to be rusty? I hope he's training. He brings up that he doesn't know if there will be bloodline rules or he will even finish the story. Let me tell you, Cody Rhodes has to finish that story. We should be done having a part-time champion. SmackDown needs a full-time champion. I think it will be bloodline rules, but I think Cody Rhodes is going to finally finish the story. He says that what's going to happen when the bell rings is going to be LDS, Little Dick Syndrome. I cannot believe he got away with saying that on live TV. He gives a shout out to Brian Gurwitz for coming up with The Rock's unit in the final boss. Brian Gurwitz being The Rock's creative guy. And says The Rock is Roman Reigns' sidekick. Now that it's an interesting point because I do think that's going to eventually cause tension between The Rock and Roman Reigns. You know, Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, and The Rock, I don't think he's going to be playing second fiddle to Roman Reigns here. Now, Paul Heyman comes out and, he apologizes for that. Remember that segment where he bought, what was it? Those cups? That was such a stupid segment. And, he apologizes for that. And basically, they make a deal that since Roman Reigns will show up alone, Cody Rhodes needs to show up alone. And they agree and shake hands. Now, I don't know about you, but I honestly don't think Roman Reigns is going to be alone this Friday on SmackDown when they confront each other. I do think that Jimmy or Soul are going to be... Cody better finish the story. The fans are getting tired of reading the story. I'm getting tired of reading the story. While they might not necessarily be out there at first, I do think that they will come out. So, I'm hoping Cody has backup. And, backstage, Jey tells Cody that the whole bloodline will be on SmackDown and Cody needs him. He's got him. So I do think that Jey Uso will probably show up, and I think we might get a brawl between Roman and Cody and probably Jimmy and Jay. But I did think this was a good promo by Cody Rhodes. And it's about time he finally fired back at The Rock for saying all that stuff that he has said. But let me know what you guys thought of this promo and of what Cody Rhodes said about The Rock in the live chat or in the comment section down below. Okay, so Monday Night Raw opened up with a Jey Uso promo. He's basically saying that the Bloodline is in the building. And he calls out his brother Jimmy. And of course, they are in the building. So, like, Jimmy and Solo Sikoa emerge from the crowd. Basically, the whole gist of this is that Jey says the biggest moment of his career will be when his dream match between him and Jimmy happens. And he's going to knock the yeet out of Jimmy. So we're obviously getting brother versus brother at WrestleMania. I think Jey should go over, and I honestly think Jey's going to be involved in that Bloodline Rules match because I think that's what they're going for. I think probably Jey will stop Jimmy when Jimmy comes out. I'm trying to figure out who will stop Solo Sikoa. Maybe Sami. Notice the Kawarikishi sign. I actually did not notice that sign. Thanks for pointing that out, Io. You know, where is Rikishi? Rikishi has been MIA from this whole entire storyline for over the last 4 years. He has not even shown up. Like, I'm so surprised he hasn't shown up here. So, because Cody Rhodes came out to help Jey, I do think that Jey will come out and help Cody Rhodes not only on SmackDown, but probably at WrestleMania. Michael 10159 says Rikishi's not appearing, I think. He should make a cameo appearance in this storyline. And like Heyman is backstage and he apologizes because Jimmy and Solo went into business for themselves. And he basically assures Adam Pearce that he's a man of his word and Solo and Jimmy are gone. Philly crowd is going to be lit for Jey. Oh, they definitely are going to be lit for Jey. So, honestly, it's the same old shtick with the Bloodline every single time. Like, I'm getting kind of tired of it here. I don't know about you guys, but at least I'm getting tired of it. Like, we need a part-time champ. We need a full-time champion. Like, Roman Reigns can't seem to win without Jimmy and Solo. And it's just like, it's the same old shtick every single time. Like, that's what I'm telling you. Like, even if Roman Reigns comes out alone on SmackDown, definitely Jimmy and Solo are going to be there. So, it's the same old shtick every single time. We get the WrestleMania qualifier match. It's DIY versus the Creed brothers. Now, this was an incredible match. I have to say, it felt really bad for the Creed brothers because I wanted the Creed brothers to be in this match, but they put them against DIY. It was kind of a tough call here. But, damn, I would not have been upset if the Creed brothers won this because it was such a great match. But DIY was victorious, and this is the first time DIY is going to go to WrestleMania. So, I really wish the Creed brothers were in this tag team ladder match that's gonna take place. But this was a great match. I think my favorite spots in this match were when Julius did the stalling suplex to Ciampa and Brutus did the stalling suplex to Gargano, and then they hit them with the standing moonsaults. I really like how they put Julius had Ciampa in the ankle lock, and Brutus also had Gargano in the ankle lock. But then Ciampa locked in the Sicilian stretch to Julius, and Gargano was doing the Gargano stretch to Brutus. So happy for Ciampa and Gargano. Long road. The Creeds will get more WrestleMania. They're so hungry. That is true. That's really true. But I felt so bad for them. The Creeds need to be pushed more. Their momentum dwindled because of being off TV for a while. I do agree. Like, they had such a big momentum coming into Monday Night Raw. They were undefeated for a bit. And then they just stopped being on TV. I think Ivy Niles has been on TV more than they have. And it seems like they kind of separated her from them because she's off teaming with Maxine. So at the time will come for the Creed brothers, and this is why I've been advocating for them to split the tag titles, because there are so many deserving teams that deserve to be tag team champions, but Judgment Day has a stranglehold of those tag titles. I honestly think, and this is a scenario that people have been mentioning a lot, I honestly think the titles are going to be hanging. One team's going to grab probably the Raw tag titles, and the other team's going to grab the SmackDown tag titles, and I think that's how you separate the belts once and for all. I still think that we need new tag belts. I've been saying this. If you guys have been watching my stuff, I've been advocating for new tag belts, and I've been advocating for them to split the titles. And if they don't split the titles, at least give us new belts. Their undefeated streak ended tonight. Oh, okay. So that's what I think. And I'll get into who I think is going to win later on in the night. But damn, like, this is why we need more tag belts. This is why we need to split the titles. You know, Judgment Day is mostly on Raw. They hardly go to SmackDown. So, again, you know, you Catch Republic. You got Pretty Deadly. You got the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. So, like, seriously, they need to split those tag belts. At least give us new belts. You get Judgment Day backstage, and Andrade is hanging out with them. And basically, like, Dominik's been trying to, like, get Andrade to be on their side. And Finn Balor comes out wearing that hat, like, kind of like Jake Hager's hat from AEW, except in black. They will not do new belts. They need new belts, seriously. And one of the things I like was, as Andrade is leaving, Damian Priest is coming, and they kind of have like this stare down. And basically, like, he was watching the DIY match, and he tells JD that he was supposed to handle Ricochet, but now Dominik has to make things right and handle Ricochet, which is how we get Dominik versus Ricochet later on in the night. But before that, we get Katana Chance and Kayden Carter versus Indi, Hartwell, and Candice LeRae. This really wasn't about the match, but about Candice LeRae's new character. I mean, it seemed like Katana Chance kind of got hurt during this match. I don't think it was a legitimate injury. I haven't seen anything about it. But Candice basically attacked her. She didn't give a shit that poor Katana Chance could possibly be injured, and she won the match for for herself and Indi Hartwell. And Indi Hartwell, throughout all this, is just kind of looking at her like, "What are you doing?" You know, like, she has this face, like she's shocked. I'm kind of digging Candice LeRae's heel character here. We get a quick Nia Jax promo, basically talking about her last woman standing match with Becky Lynch tonight, and basically saying that she's going to take Becky's spot after she breaks her face again. We get Ricochet versus Dominik Mysterio. And this was a pretty decent match. I was really surprised by the outcome. I was surprised that Ricochet won, considering I did not think he would win this match. I thought that Dominik would win, since he had JD Madonna out there. And then JD did attempt to attack Ricochet. So, very interesting. I don't think it's going to lead to anything. We got Sami Zayn and Chad Gable backstage. And, like, you could tell Chad Gable was, like, feeling some type of way over the fact that he lost to Sami Zayn last week. And, like, Sami tries to pry it out of him. And basically, the whole gist of this is that Chad Gable tells Sami he can't beat Gunter. And this leads into the IC title contract signing. Like, this has been one of the most calm contract signings ever, or as far as I can remember, because usually these contract signings end in total disaster. And that didn't happen here. Like, usually the table gets flipped, someone gets attacked, or gets put through the table. Not this time. This was a relatively calm contract signing. A rarity, if you ask me. I don't think they would do a triple threat and add in Gable at WrestleMania. So basically, like, the whole point of this is, like, Gunter doesn't think Sami Zayn can beat him. And Sami Zayn makes it a point that a lot of people, he's made a career out of making people believe. Like, a lot of people didn't think he would make it to WWE. Sai pushed the Ajax sign in the crowd too during that. Like, really? God, I need to pay more attention to these signs. So they basically signed, and like I said, it was really calm contract signing, no chaos whatsoever. But when Sami Zayn goes backstage, Gable basically says that Gunter's a different breed, and if Sami doesn't change mentality, he will win. So I don't necessarily think they're going to make this a triple threat. I think it's a sign I should start watching NXT. Keep dreaming. I don't think necessarily it's going to be a triple threat. What I do think is, you guys know Bash in Berlin is in August. I think that the reason why Sami Zayn went over Chad Gable is probably because maybe Gunter's going to retain at WrestleMania. I don't think Sami Zayn is going to be Gunter, although I wouldn't be upset if he does. But I honestly think that's the biggest reason why they went with Sami Zayn over Chad Gable, because he's probably going to retain. Now, the question remains, would Gunter hold the belt to Bash in Berlin? I honestly feel like by that point in time, he should challenge for the world title, because if he beat Sami Zayn, like, who realistically is left to face Gunter? Chad Gable is the only person on the main roster that has defeated Gunter by countout. So maybe Chad Gable faces Gunter on the Raw after Mania and finally wins the big one there. Have to wait and see, but I honestly think that's why Sami Zayn won the gauntlet last week, because he's gonna probably lose to Gunter, because the whole point, Sami's story was just to get to WrestleMania, because like he brings up the fact that like last year he was in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, and this year he wasn't even sure he was going to be on the WrestleMania card, and now he's on the WrestleMania card. So that was basically his whole storyline. So we gotta wait and see, but I don't think Sami Zayn's going to beat Gunter here. So we get the WrestleMania qualifiers, the Awesome Truth versus Indus. I think you know who won this match, but I'm still going to talk about it. Before this match, I really like the fact that they're backstage and the camera pans out to like Miz and R-Truth as they're walking. It was really cool. This was kind of a fun match. You know, R-Truth makes everything work. I really like the fact that he pays homage to his childhood hero John Cena every single time. But Awesome Truth won this. And again, like I could see the Awesome Truth being one of the teams that grab the belts in that ladder match. Maybe Regeneration X grabs all 4 belts. Obvious Awesome Truth was winning. Yeah, it was pretty obvious that they were going to win this match. But I was pulling for Awesome Truth to win the tag belts. I kind of thought it was going to be a one-on-one match. I was not expecting the ladder match. I'm not upset that we're getting a ladder match, but I do think that is how they're going to split the titles. Truth hasn't had a Mania match in almost 10 years. Really? When was the last time you had a Mania match? Jeez, I got to go back. But you know what? Truth, if that's true, Truth deserves it. He's done some pretty cool work. He's funny. I think he deserves at least a WrestleMania moment. We get a Drew McIntyre promo, and basically Ray can't even say anything. Like, Seth freaking Rollins comes out as Drew McIntyre is like making his way to the ring. Well, I did think this segment was pretty good. I feel like this promo wasn't really as strong as it should have been. I do like the fact that the crowd was chanting for CM Punk, because CM Punk is going to be in Chicago next Monday. And he brings up how like Punk wouldn't be, where were they? Whatever city they were in, he wouldn't show up and the crowd boos. And he tries to make it a point by saying that the crowd is booing for CM Punk. I thought the promo was better than last week with Cody crying. Yeah, this was better than last week's promo. But one of the things I do like about this is that Seth Rollins brings up the fact that for the last 4 years, McIntyre has been crying about how he won the title without fans. Raleigh, North Carolina. Oh, yeah. Lucha. I wonder if Lucha was there. He's from North. So, and that's true. Seth Rollins is still, like, right? Like, if Drew McIntyre has been saying nonstop for the last 4 years that Matt Hardy and his wife were out there. So now, well, that would make sense because they're from North Carolina too. He's been saying for the last 4 years that he won the title without fans, that the bloodline screwed him over. It's just a broken record. He's been saying the same stuff. Honestly, feel like Drew McIntyre is probably going to win. He's probably going to take that title off of Seth Rollins. I think it's time. And then the big question mark is, what's Senor Money in the Bank going to do? Is he going to cash in on Cody? Is he going to cash in on Drew? Is he even going to successfully cash in? Have to wait and see. That's the question mark. But pretty decent promo here. We get another WrestleMania qualifier. Is the New Day versus Alpha Academy. I think this match is pretty obvious too. I think it was pretty obvious the New Day was going to win this. I don't think the team of Otis and Akira Tozawa were going to defeat the New Day here. So New Day is in that match again. It's going to be a really good match with all these teams. I really would like to see the New Day rock the Power Rangers gear again. I understand why they don't, but I would personally like to see them rock that gear again. Now, backstage, you got Liv Morgan approaching Becky Lynch and telling her to take out Nia Jax. The main event was the last woman standing match, Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. And I kind of felt like this match started off a little slow and it picked up towards the end. I think my two favorite spots in this match were when Becky did the manhandle slam to Nia Jax through the table and when she did the leg drop off the ladder through the announce table. It's crazy Imperium isn't in this ladder match, though. I think one of them is hurt. That is crazy. Now that you bring that up, that Imperium is not in that ladder match. They should be, but I haven't heard of any of them being hurt. Not Giovanni Vinci and Kaiser. I haven't heard any of them being hurt, but they should be in that ladder match. But the question is, if they're in that ladder match, who would you take out from Raw? Which team would you take out if they were in that ladder match? I mean, I think it was pretty obvious Awesome Truth is going to be in it no matter what. Mid-match with Becky and Nia, no one asked for it. They didn't pick it up until the end. Yeah, this match really picked up towards the end. And I hope this is the end of the feud between Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. This is their third match. And it makes sense that Becky Lynch won because, like Nia Jax alluded to earlier, Becky Lynch had never beat her. Whether you like Nia or not, this is her best run right now. Great chemistry with these two. I do agree. This has been Nia Jax's best run so far. Like at the end, Rhea Ripley comes on. She has to stare down with Becky. So I cannot wait for Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. I do think Rhea Ripley's probably going to beat Becky because I don't think Becky needs to win. Overall tonight, we are on the road to WrestleMania. And this was a decent show. It wasn't too terrible. There are things I like, a couple things I dislike. Overall, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, decent show, better than last week. I definitely do agree. It was better than last week. It's a 7 out of 10. Things I like, things I disliked. Okay. So with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or at least release a new video. And I will see you guys Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Bye.